Kanak. Good afternoon, friends. So I'm going to talk about the growth factors. I call myself a Sherpa. We all know what a Sherpa is, right? If you ever want to climb the Mount Everest, you cannot do it by yourself. You need a Sherpa. And our belief is that each of our clients is like the person who wants to reach the height of his wealth, and he needs each of us as Sherpa. So each of us here is a Sherpa too. And that's what my story is. So I'm just going to start. Kanak has given me a tough task 15 minutes before lunch. This is what I'm going to cover in the next 15 minutes. Like Dr. Celso said, why do we do what we do? Right? We could do so many other things, but we all are here and we all serve the investment purpose, and there's got to be a reason for it. So always understand what the purpose behind what you do. One of the clarity that I derived about 5 years ago is I spent 7 days inside a room with a consultant figuring out my mission and vision statement. If you have not done it so far, friends, I urge you to spend time. Because in those 7 days, I went from deeply confused to a great amount of clarity. Today, 90% of my clients fall within the middle-age profile of what we call the middle age. 45 to 60, 65 is the age profile. And it's benefited my business. Pre-COVID, I used to have an asset of 75 crores. Today, we are about 400 crores of assets, right? This has only happened because of this one thing where I realized what my mission is. And it's extremely important to understand what your mission is. You can't chase, we're not dogs, we can't chase every client on the road. We've got to identify who our client is and go after them. If you Google my name, you will find that I don't come out as an MFD. I come out as an author. I authored a book called Unlock Secrets to a Wealthy Life. I have 20 copies of that. So please feel free to reach out during lunch. I'll give you an autographed copy of the book. But that's not what I'm saying here. The reason why each of us need to author a book is that when you give your client a copy of your book, he knows that you're an authority. Author comes from the word authority. You don't have to say that I know what I'm talking about. It's understood. The client always understands. I have won a ton of business because somebody introduced me that he is an author of this book. No other questions. Where should I write the check? How should I write the check? That's the only question I got. Please write your story, become an author. Each of us in this room needs to be an author. Every disadvantage is an opportunity, my friend. COVID came, we all got stuck inside the home. I did too. I figured out that digital is a good medium to reach people. We started our YouTube channel during the COVID times. Every week thereafter, we have been giving out knowledge-oriented videos, 15 minutes, 10 minutes of videos on various subjects. My question first was, if I give all my gyan out on videos, kaun aayega? Who will come and reach out to me? They will see the video and do it themselves, direct mode. I can tell you, nothing is more wrong than that. After seeing the video, my business and client reach out has zoomed. The number of people who have reached out, contacted me has just gone through the roof. So please consider, the other person also mentioned, go digital. We are in an age. I get calls from as far as Bombay and Pune for clients who want services from Chennai. Right? That's the power of digital. We offer goal-based approach. Anybody comes and says, I want to put in X amount of money, we want to understand what the goal is. Either he has a goal or we create a goal for him. I can tell you, clients without a goal, the money is very slippery, it can move out any time. But clients with the goal, the money is very sticky. It stays on till the goal is achieved. So we have a 100% goal-based approach. So this is the philosophy of how we operate. This is the philosophy behind which we operate. But how do we do? Why we do, you saw. How do we do what we do? From day one, we decided that we were not going to use paper. We use an NSE platform. Everything is online. We don't do anything on our own, but we use a lot of tech tools that are already available in the system. We have a CRM. We have got it from Zoho. Everything today is available, my friend. We need to adopt. If you're going to have to manage 1,000, 2,000 customers without tech, it's going to be impossible. So adopt tech. Digital-only practice will help you scale. We have a maker-checker. Every process in the office is done by one person, checked by another person. It's not one person doing it all. We have Morningstar subscriptions. We have 3 other subscriptions which we do. Research, that's the only thing we bring to the table, the knowledge and the service. Why a certain product is better than another is only based on the research that we do. So we need to invest in our own learnings as well as research. We're all here only for the learning, right? So same way, I think on an ongoing basis, we must have tools that we can use for research as well. As Kanak said, all this is fine, but how is it made a difference to people? And I thought of 3 stories that I will talk to you about. There's a gentleman called Mr. Jagan. It happened, he was a client with a certain portfolio, and for some reason the market dropped post the global financial crisis. And this man kind of went through the roof. He called my RM. He said, I want to meet some of your guys. And I went to visit him. And for the next 30 minutes, I heard all my ancestors being called in the wrong way, if you know. And he gave me a kind of a big complaint. His portfolio was nearly half of what it used to be before. I sat down, I heard him through. I said, can I have a cup of coffee after he had finished? He was quite surprised. I had my coffee, and I said, how many years do you have to retire? He was a senior guy in MNC. And he said, Babu, I have only 6 more years to retire. And, my portfolio is down. I'm really scared. Always remember, when a customer is upset, there is an underlying reason. There is an insecurity that's underlying. Important to go a little bit further to probe that. I found that his insecurity was that he's going to retire in 6 years. He doesn't have money for that. I promised him that when he retires in 6 years' time, he will have a portfolio of roughly 5 crores. I just told him, you need to listen to me, but. And in 6 years' time, he retired. He is retired. He continues to be a client of mine. He has got a fantastic portfolio of 5+ crores. Now, of course, it's 8.5 crores. So the story that I'm trying to make is every complaint is an opportunity, because he had hardly a portfolio of 60 lakhs before with us. And after the complaint, the portfolio has now grown to about 6.5, 7 crores at this point in time. So that's what I wanted to tell. This is another story. A doctor, a lady doctor who we met up. It's a 15-year-old client. She was a single parent, 2 young kids. Had no idea what to go forward. She was she didn't understand mutual funds. Referred by a good friend of hers. We started working with her. She has since, both her children have studied and gone abroad, and she has a substantial retirement corpus that she is living on now. The reason I'm telling my friend is that when each of us look at a career that we have, there is a certain satisfaction of earning a certain revenue. But the even greater satisfaction is if you have brought transformation to people's life. Whenever I go to a place with her, she will not introduce me as her mutual fund distributor. She will introduce me as her well-wisher. He is the reason why I'm able to travel abroad. He is the reason why I'm comfortable today in life, is how she introduces me today to each of our. So always look out for stories. Each of your client is a story that is for you to shape for them. Last, when COVID broke out, we all know a certain mutual fund, debt fund got kind of frozen, right? We all know, and I'm not going to take names here. Just before the COVID came, For a large client of mine, I had taken, his daughter was traveling abroad in a few months' time. I had taken all the money and put it into that ultra short fund of that particular fund house. And when COVID broke and that scheme got frozen, he and about 15 of those clients, overall portfolio size for me was about 6 crores, got stuck. Those 15 clients, I had an option of not picking their calls because it's COVID time, you can't meet each other. The second option was to give each of them a call and explain in detail and kind of go through that painful process. For 3 days, friends, I couldn't sleep because many of them kind of really went after me. They used all the, I understand, money is very personal to people, right? So people went off, but 3 days I spent explaining why it happened and why I'm sure the money will come back to them. Of course, I can't speed up the process, but I promise them the money will come back to them. The reason I'm telling you this is trust gets only built when you take the difficult route of facing problems. I can tell you those 15 clients have increased their portfolio size 10 times over now, post-COVID. All the 15 of them continue to be my client. All of them have increased their portfolio size almost 10 times. Of course, the market has done a bit of it, but even otherwise they have done. And most importantly, unless I tell them that I can't handle their account, those 15 of them will never leave me. And I can tell you the difference is that when that incident happened, I really kind of thought I should escape somewhere to at this point in time. So each of us at some point in time will be put to the test of trust by a client. If you ask me, am I in the wealth management business? I'll say no. I'm actually in the trust business. Am I somebody my customer can trust when he's having problem? If he can trust me, believe me, your business will flourish through the roof. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for your patient hearing.